Hi everyone, so this week we're going to be making op art hands, and what you're going to need is a sheet of paper, a ruler if you have one, or a straight edge. You can use a side of a cardboard box or a cereal box if you don't have a ruler, and you're also going to need some markers. So we're going to be making op art, and what op art is optical illusion art. And what happens with optical illusion art is your eyeballs play tricks on you whenever you look at this type of artwork. Usually your eyeballs think that it's moving or it's creating some type of optical illusion. So what we want to do is we want to have a straight edge. So I have my ruler right here. If you don't have a ruler, you can use a piece of cardboard or whatever you have at home. Sometimes the edge of a book will also work, but you don't want to get marker all over that. So I'm using markers for this to start. What you're going to want to do is you want to pick 3 colors in your head that you want to use. I'm going to use cool colors, which is purple, blue, and green. You don't have to pick these 3, but if you'd like to, that's completely okay. So what you want to do is you want to pick one of those colors to start, and you're going to want to trace your hand. So I'm going to grab green. To trace your hand, you want to make sure that your paper is facing vertically, which means the skinny edge is facing up. And I'm going to take my wrist and I'm going to put it at the bottom left-hand corner of my paper. Because I'm right-handed, I'm going to trace my left hand. If I was left-handed, I would trace my right hand. So since I've got my right hand over here, I'm going to take my left hand and put it on the paper so I have that hand to trace. What you're going to do is going to go nice and slowly all the way around your hand. You've probably done this a bunch of times. But just take your time and really get those curves and those bends of your fingers. And I'm just gonna extend it that way. Perfect. So I'm not gonna switch colors yet, but what I wanna do is I wanna keep going with the color that I traced my hand with. So I still have my green. What you're gonna wanna do is take your ruler and you're going to put it on the paper facing horizontally, which means from left to right. And what you're going to do is you're just going to trace a line. With your ruler, you want to make sure that you're holding it down pretty hard with your helper hand so that it doesn't wiggle when you draw these lines, because we want them to be pretty straight. What you're also not going to do is you're not going to draw where your hand is yet. So you're skipping drawing inside of your hand. So to start, I have my one straight line going left to right. I'm going to move my ruler up about a ½ an inch or so and then do another line. And I'm going to continue all the way up the paper. And you can see where I'm skipping drawing where my hand is. We're going to do that part after. So you can see I have a little bit of area over here because my hand is starting to spread out a little further. The further you go up, the harder it's going to be because you have all of these fingers that you're going to have to draw behind. And the reason we're doing just the left and the right, it's to make it look like there's a background behind our hand. Perfect. So I've got my straight lines in. Once your straight lines are in with that first color, you're going to continue with that color as well. So I'm going to turn my paper a little bit because I want to start creating curved lines. And you're going to want to create a curved line inside your fingers or your hand to match the bumpiness of your actual hand. So you're going to connect the straight line with a curved line. I would suggest starting at the top of your fingers and work down so that you kind of can see where your lines are going to be. So I see that my straight line crosses right here. So I'm going to connect those lines using a curved line, just like that. And same in this spot too. And then I'm just going to go to the line below it and do the same thing. And then keep going down and just connecting with a curved line. What this curved line does is it makes your hand or your fingers look like it's elevated or that it's popping off of the paper. You can almost see it happening already, where it looks like my hand is floating on top of the paper. And we know that there's nothing 3D actually on this paper. It's all just different types of lines, which is actually really, really cool. And you want to think about where you're looking on your hand to kind of think about the bumpiness. So I know that if I put my hand on here, I've got this large area with a couple knuckles going across it. So maybe I'll include those with my bumpy line. And as you move down your hand, that curve line is gonna kind of sort of flatten out. So I've got this one, and then I have a thumb right here, and I know that this one is right there. And then this one starts to kind of flatten out. And as I get closer to the bottom, my lines kind of smooth and flatten out. So there is my op art hand to start. If you look at it, your eyeball starts to play tricks on you. You know that there's nothing on this sheet of paper. It's actually 2D, it's really flat, but it looks like it's 3D. It looks like a hand is popping out. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your next color and repeat those same steps. It looks more 3D if you go 3 colors. So I'm gonna fast forward this through me doing this part so you can see the finished product. So you're gonna pick those 2 other colors and do the same exact thing. Beautiful. So there's my second color, and I'm going to go ahead and do my third color. Perfect. So there's my finished product. You can see how the hand looks like it's popping up, but it's really just a flat sheet of paper. If it starts to get really confusing on that third color, you don't have to do a third color, but I think it just makes your piece look extra optical if you've got that third color in there. I can't wait to see what you guys make.